So how do we also help educate people that are also looking to connect, but there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the other end of the extremes.
So the white man is enacting a story all over the world. We left our homes and flooded the world. We smothered culture. We smothered knowledge. We erased history and rewrote it our way. Myself, my grandfather is 100% Ashkenazi Jewish. Claiming to be Jewish, Ashkenazi Jewish is just a conspiracy. White men claiming to be of tribes of Israel when I'm Germanic, you know, I have no ties to Israel, no ties to Judaism. You know.
What did he say? Berean Scholar. Berean Scholar. Waking up the people of the Most High. Got the knowledge to destroy the lies. DNA history, open eyes. Walk into the darkness and turn on the lights. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Warning, the following video are for commentary purposes only. Fair use.
So how do we also help educate people that are also looking to connect, but there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the other end of the extremes.
But Israel doesn't care. They only care about themselves. They don't care about Jews. Right. They'll sacrifice all of us. They would be very happy if the anti-Semitism blows up all over the world, because then they'll say, you got to come to Israel. And then they'll say, okay, look, we want to be safe and we have to have a safe place. They want that. As a Jew, and any Jews interested in doing this, you must tell everybody, you must get this through your head and get it through the heads of anybody you have influence over, or anybody whose ear you have, that Israel has nothing to do with the Jews. Israel has to do with the Israelis. Then guess what? If Israel has to do with the Israelis, there's no more Zionism. It's that simple.
And this would be better, you're right, for all the Jews around the world, because the concept of Zionism, the concept of Israel being a home for the Jews, is damaging the reputation of every Jew everywhere, because everybody is suspicious that you have a dual loyalty. I mean, they're looking at you and they're automatically suspicious of you. And that is not fair to you. That is not fair to all the many Jewish people who are loyal to the nation that they're in. Just like I'm half Vietnamese. Nobody asks me about Vietnamese politics. No one asks me. Like, they don't come up to me and start asking me about Vietnamese politics. I'm an American. That's what that is.
And Kim, this is worse, because I'm not even half Israeli. You see, they don't. That's the thing. I'm Jewish. That's the thing. I'm not even half Israeli. If I'd be half Israeli, that would be comparable to your situation. I have no Israeli blood in me.
Right. I'm
an American. My family's from Poland. On my mother's side, they're from England and Russia. What do I have to do with some country in the Middle East? What kind of crazy thing is this?
Right.
I'm an American. My family's from Poland. On my mother's side, they're from England and Russia. What do I have to do with some country in the Middle East? What kind of crazy thing is this?
What did you say? What did you just say?
Right.
I'm an American. My family's from Poland. On my mother's side, they're from England and Russia. What do I have to do with some country in the Middle East? What kind of crazy thing is this?
Forum being filmed on Tuesday, November the 3rd in the Memorial Arena, Victoria, BC. Our guest in this segment is Mazen Al-Nahawi. Welcome, Mazen. And we're going to be talking about Mr. Milikovsky.
Yes, actually the first part of the segment will be about Mr. Milikovsky. Maybe you will ask, who is Mr. Milikovsky?
I did ask and you told me, but I didn't know before.
He is Benjamin Netanyahu. This is the real name.
Prime Minister or President of Israel.
The colonial settler state of Israel. Now, before going to talk in details about that, I would like to talk about an incident happened in the United Nations to show who is Mr. Milikovsky, the real one. He claimed once on a podium of United Nations that his first name, Benjamin, go 4,000 years BCE, when the Benjamin and David were running on the hills of Judea. And his second name, Netanyahu, go back 2,000 years, because some archaeologists found a ring was written on it, Netanyahu. he did not mention that his father, Ben Zion Milikovsky, changed this name, Milikovsky, to Netanyahu in 1920s, when they moved from Lithuania to colonize Palestine. So Mr. Netanyahu, or I should call him Mr. Milikovsky, dare to say in front of all United Nations that his second name, his last name, Netanyahu, go back 2,000 years.
Showing the long claim on
in
Israel.
order to use this claim to expel my family and the Palestinians who live in Palestine for centuries. So this is the kind of person who is Netanyahu, or Mr. Milikovsky.
A life of power and ambition. But who is the real Netanyahu? What does he stand for? What are his beliefs? What is his story? Let's take a look at the making of this leader. This story begins in October 1949, 1 year after Israel's formation. This is when Netanyahu was born, the second child of a historian. His paternal grandfather was a rabbi and a Zionist writer. His name was Nathan Milikowski. Later in life, he Hebraized his surname from Milikowski to Netanyahu, a name which means God has given.
This is Yair Netanyahu's DNA test that has been leaked. You can see right there, his Y DNA is RM198. Descendants of RM198 come from Poland, Russia, Germany, and other European countries. Does this look Semitic to you? Does this look Middle Eastern?
I think very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in. I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. That's simply it.
The power and the wealth into a black, native black overclass in this country that would serve in the same respect that Jews serve right now around the world.
Yeah.
What happened to Jews around the world is dictated by the Jews in America. Because in America, the Jews got about 1/2 of 1% of the population. But they've been able to manage to control major industries like the diamond industry, gold industry, book industry, movie industry, legal industry, printing industry. It's controlled by Jews, even though they're 1/2 of 1% of the population.
Wow.
And see, here you are with 24% of the population worldwide, and in America, you're 13%. You control nothing.
Yeah.
Because the Jews stick together. They make sure everything that comes up that has any potential for profits and well-being and quality of life, they build it around the Jewish religion. Because see, basically Jews are whites.
Yeah.
They're Khazarians. And the original Jews were really blacks coming out of Ethiopia.
Absolutely, yes.
But black folk let them run them out of Africa, run them out of the Middle East, run them out past Kenya, down into Africa. Then the Khazarians. The Khazarians are a mixture of Mongoloids, Russians, and Polish.
Yeah.
And they're Khazarians. They came in and took over your religion in about 700 to 800 AD. And when I'm trying to think when the prime minister, I can't think of his name now. He asked 6 black rabbis to come up to that area between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea and teach the Khazarians a new religion.
Yes.
And they brought the Jewish religion up. They mind the Jewish religion. They brought the Hebrew scriptures and all up there and introduced it to the Jews, and Jews took it over. So by the 1100s, the Jews had taken over the Jewish religion and left blacks out there hanging. They said they were now the new chosen people because they had pushed black folk out.
So, it's just so amazing that you're saying that, because that is one of the things that, a lot of us are awakening to, that we are, the true Hebrews.
You're the true Hebrews. So why are you over there practicing Islam then?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, also we practice the Christianity with the, white Jesus, etc. But what do you think of the whole Hebrew movement and also, returning to our identity and kind of awakening to who we really are?
That would make more sense than what you're doing now.
Message! My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people, like priest, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them their doings.
You heard what fountain she could drink out of. Okay. Now we born into a vote. They literally call it the black vote. Yeah. And by the way, we blood of Christ. We blood of Moses. We're not just a color in a crayon box. And if we knew that, who we really were, we'd treat each other differently.
Say that again.
We blood of Christ. We blood of Moses. We're not just a color in a crayon box. And if we knew that, who we really were, we'd treat each other differently. We'd treat ourselves differently. So when you say, I'm black and I'm proud, like, but of what? What concept are we understanding? They say, go see the African History Museum. Why do they start when the boats came? Why don't they start with the drums?
When we was kings.
Oh, they don't want it, but we are kings. Mm-hmm. But the 400 years doesn't have to deal with slavery. It has to deal with the Bible. It has to deal with us being disobedient to God. Right. And that's why we farm land that isn't our own. Record labels, the NBA, Hollywood. These boys be scared. They be sitting there. Michael B. Jordan be telling my cousin, like, man, I want to do what Ye do, but I'm just, I'm right here, or,
That means that the ancient Israelites, the people of the Most High, were... I'm going to say it again. The Israelites in the Bible were...
The true Jews of Israel are your black ancestors.
Okay, find it in the Bible, please.
Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called
Strong's G 3526, Niger.
What?
Strong's G 3526, Niger.
Nigga?
What?
Could you repeat the definition?
A king. It's used as a title of the sovereign of Ethiopia, Negus.
Negus. Negus, Negus.
But wait! There's more!
I asked Claude AI to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 46. Then go back and read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15, all the way to verse 68. After reading all these verses now, you need to look at them and tell me, after reading this, what group of people on earth today fit those verses? What group of people on earth today have endured all these things?
This is Claude AI response. Examine biblical passage and identify modern populations matching historical curses. Deuteronomy 28, scriptural analysis. The curses of the covenant, or Barata, scholarly breakdown. Step 1, anchor verse first. Deuteronomy 2, 8:46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, spoken by Yahweh through Masha H. Paleo-Hebrew key terms. English Paleo-Hebrew transliteration meaning. In English sign, awata, a mark signal, identifier. In English wonder, mawapata, portent miraculous token. In English seed, zara'a, offspring, descendants, lineage. In English forever, awa la'am, age lasting, perpetual duration. Critical observation, the word awata sign carries pictographic weight. Aleph, ox strength plus wa, nail connection plus ta, mark covenant. This is a covenant identification mark pressed permanently into a people. Step 2, full passage reading, Deuteronomy 28, 15 to 68, or structured analysis, verse 28:15 to 68. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Key, the curses are covenant activated. They are not random suffering. They are targeted, prophetic, and identify specific people. Verse 28, 16 to 19, comprehensive cursing. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field, cursed in the basket and store, cursed in the fruit of the body, cursed coming in, cursed going out. Hebraic note, the repetition of awa across every domain of life, urban, agricultural, reproductive, economic, social, signals a total systemic collapse of a nation's existence. Verse 28:20, the source declared, Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Word study, term transliteration meaning. In English, cursing, ma'ara, H sending away, removal of blessing. In English, vexation, mahawama, H confusion, internal disorder. In English, rebuke, maga arata, being driven back, reprimanded. Verse 28, 21 to 22, disease and pestilence. Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, smite thee with consumption, fever, inflammation, extreme burning, sword, blasting, and mildew. Historical resonance, epidemics that followed specific populations across generations, not merely environmental, but prophetically attached to lineage. Verse 28:25, military defeat scattered. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Key phrase, removed into all kingdoms of the earth. Scattered globally, not regionally. Pawazara, dispersed, scattered like seeds cast to wind. Verse 28:26, no burial degraded in death. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Historical parallel, enslaved and conquered peoples whose dead were denied proper burial rites, a profound cultural and spiritual desecration. Verse 28:27, diseases of Egypt. Yahweh will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. Botch of Egypt, Shahayana Matasarayama. Skin diseases traced historically to conditions of slavery and poverty, disproportionate disease burden on a specific people, verse 28:28 to 29. Mental blindness oppression. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Critical breakdown. In English, affliction transliteration meaning. In English, madness, shaga'awana, mental disturbance, confusion of mind. In English, blindness, awarawana, inability to see one's own identity path. In English, astonishment of heart, tamahawana, lababa, shock, loss of cultural anchor. No man shall save thee, political abandonment, no nation intervening on their behalf consistently. Verse 28:30, family destruction. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. The systematic destruction of the family unit, women violated, homes seized, labor unrewarded. This is one of the most documented features of chattel slavery. 28:32, children taken. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. One of the most piercing verses in the entire chapter. Children, banayama, sold away. Parents watching helplessly, no legal power to reclaim them. This is a precise description of the chattel slave trade, where families were deliberately separated at auction. Verse 28:33, labor stolen. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Stolen labor. A people building the wealth of a foreign nation while receiving nothing. The economic engine of a foreign power fueled by their unpaid work. verse 28, 36 to 37. Taken to a nation they knew not become a byword. Yahweh shall bring thee, and thy king which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh shall lead thee. A byword, mashallah, a people used as the example of lowness, mockery, ridicule. Their name and identity weaponized against them in popular culture, comedy, and systemic contempt. Verse 2841, children into captivity. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Generational captivity, not one generation, but sons and daughters across generations. Verse 28:43 to 44, economic reversal. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. The complete economic inversion of a people from a covenant nation to the bottom of every social and economic structure in every land of their captivity. Verse 2846, the sign verse. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. This verse functions as a divine timestamp and identifier. These curses are not general human suffering. They are covenant specific, seed lineage specific, perpetual in duration. A sign, meaning they identify the people. Verse 2848, served in poverty and nakedness. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Yoke of iron, awala barazala. Iron collar, iron bondage. The imagery of iron shackles and chains is unmistakable. Verse 28:49 to 50. A distant nation, swift as the eagle. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. Swift as the eagle, a nation whose national symbol is the eagle. No mercy for elders or children. This describes an empire-level conquering force. Verse 2852, cities besieged. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedst throughout all thy land. Historical fulfillment, the siege of Jerusalem, both under Babylon and Rome. Verse 28:53 to 57, cannibalism in the siege. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. Historically documented, Josephus, in Wars of the Jews, records this occurring during the Roman siege of Jerusalem in 70 CE. Verse 28:58 to 61, plagues, written in the book. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law, Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. Disproportionate medical burden, a specific people suffering health disparities across generations at rates statistically beyond coincidence. Verse 28 to 62, reduced in number. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh, thy Elohim. Population decimation. A once great nation reduced to a remnant. Verse 28:63 to 64, scattered across the earth. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. Global diaspora, not regional exile. from one end of the earth to the other. Verse 28, 65 to 66, no rest, trembling life. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. A people living in constant psychological fear, uncertain of their lives day and night. This is the psychological portrait of a people under centuries of racial terror, lynching, mass incarceration, and systemic violence. Verse 28 to 68, the climax verse. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. This is the most precise verse in the entire chapter. Breakdown, phrase analysis. Into Egypt again with ships is saying, return to an Egypt-like bondage via ships. The transatlantic slave trade transported captives by sea in ships. By the way whereof I spake is saying, a prophesied, preordained route. Thou shalt see it no more again is saying, they would never return to their homeland under their own power. Sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen is saying, chattel slavery, sold as property. No man shall buy you is saying, at the end of the slave trade, no nation purchased their freedom. They were simply emancipated as an economic political decision, not bought back. Egypt in Paleo-Hebrew, Matasara Yama, means a place of confinement, double distress. It is used typologically throughout Scripture as a symbol of bondage, not always literal geographic Egypt. Step 3, the research question. If Deuteronomy 2:846 is true, what people in 2026 fit these verses? Scholarly assessment. When the complete list of curses in Deuteronomy 28:15 to 68 is laid against documented history, one people group in the modern world matches every single identifying marker. The identification matrix. D. 28 verse curse sign historical fulfillment. Verse 2:825 scattered among all nations, African diaspora spans every continent. Verse 2:832 children taken. Parents powerless, chattel slavery, family separation at auction. Verse 2:833, verse 246 plus years of unpaid forced labor in America. Verse 28:36 to 37, taken to unknown nations, become a byword, Negro, coon, boy, names of mockery globally. Verse 2:841, sons and daughters into captivity, mass incarceration pipeline. 2.36 to 2.846 to 37 daughters, 236 to 36 to equal strangers above. They become the tail, systemic economic disparity, redlining, generational poverty. Verse 2:846, a sign and wonder upon their seed forever. The curse continues generationally, not lifted. Verse 2:848, iron yoke served in hunger and nakedness, iron shackles, literal chains of the slave trade. Verse 28:49 to 50, eagle nation fierce, no mercy, United States national symbol, the eagle. Verse 28 to 62, reduced in number, millions lost in the Middle Passage in slavery. Verse 28 to 64, scattered from one end of earth to other Caribbean, Americas, Europe, Africa, global diaspora. Verse 28:65 to 66, no rest, trembling. Life hangs in doubt, racial terror, police killings, psychological trauma. Verse 28 to 68, brought into Egypt by ships, sold as slaves, transatlantic slave trade, the most precise fulfillment. The scholarly conclusion. The people who match every criterion of Deuteronomy 28:15 to 60 to 8 in documented, verifiable history are the descendants of West and Central African captives transported through the transatlantic slave trade. People today identified as Black Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, and the broader African diaspora. No other people group in recorded history was transported to bondage specifically by ships, was sold as chattel property to enemies, became a global byword and mockery, had their children systematically separated from them, built the wealth of a foreign eagle nation, continues to live under a generational unbroken curse pattern that matches every verse, supporting academic references, scholar work relevance. Joseph J. Williams' Hebrewisms of West Africa documents Hebrew linguistic and cultural retentions in West Africa. Sidney Mendelssohn, The Jews of Africa, traces Israelite-connected communities across Africa. Godfrey Higgins' Anacalypsis connects ancient Israelite identity to African peoples. Flavius Josephus' Wars of the Jews documents the Roman siege, fulfillment of 28:52-57. Webb Du Bois' The Souls of Black Folk documents the psychological weight of life under systemic oppression, document 28:65-66. Final teaching note. Deuteronomy 28 verse 46 declares these curses are an awada, a covenant sign pressed into the seed of a people. This is not general human suffering. This is a prophetic identification. The curses function as a divine fingerprint, and when the historical record is laid honestly against Scripture, the match is not coincidental. It is prophetically precise. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Deuteronomy 28 verse 46.
A lot of people are waking up now.
What do you think about this topic? Remember to be a Berean scholar, as it is written in the book of Acts 17 verses 11 to 12. Now the Bereans were more noble-minded than the Thessalonians, for they received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if these teachings were true. It's time to deepen your understanding and see your reflection within the sacred pages. Please click subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay up to date with the Berean Scholar channel.